So you can see I had the chaps off, which is fine because I want to clean it out. I want to put some mix up like in my pump, just your garden sprayer, lawn and garden sprayer. I'm gonna mix up some just pine sol, mostly pine sol, like, I don't know, 70-30 water and pine sol. And then I'm gonna squirt it where all this grease is down here in the cowling and up on top. Because, I mean, it's been sitting here. It's kind of funny. Like, no offense to the guy that brought it over here at all. His story was, hey, I had this at a dealer shop that we all know. And he's like, man, they had it for 3 months or 6 months. I can't remember now. And they did a carb job on it, which is fine. But that's not a problem. So he brings it to me and he was kind of like, I get it. He's like, man, they had it for a long time. And so then I got it. But when he was telling me this, I was thinking, great, it's gonna be here for a little while because there's something about it. You know, there's something wrong and it's gonna be one of those, it's gonna be hard to diagnose. Sure enough, you go out here, you turn the ignition key, try to start it, cranks just fine, and then, you know, you just like you give up. You know, I put it in a tub of water. I dumped the tub a few times. I figure, hey, I got a short because I don't have any fire. So, got a new switch, a power pack, replaced the power pack. And then you'd walk out here and you would turn the ignition key one time and it'd fire right off. You know, after a little while. So I'm like, we got a short. Cause, you know, I mean, it's like it just made the right connection and bam. Freaking mosquitoes is out now. Skeeters are out. Anyway, so I put a new rectifier in it. I'm kind of messing, you know, trying to find the short. So I found a couple of lines and one of them I repaired, soldered it, shrunk wrap it. It's a really good repair. And then the other one seemed like one of the pins is bad. So I got a pin set and I messed with it. And I think I have it repaired. It doesn't sit in the housing just right, but I know that it's going on the pin and making a connection. So I did that and then I tried to start it. It was kind of doing the same thing. And for the stator on the other end connector, it was kind of doing that thing, you know, like it wasn't making a good connection. So the thing on these old Johnson 115s is like these little plug-in connectors for things, they're not good. And I'm sure it's my fault because I've had it here for a while trying to figure out what in the world we've done or something's happened. What are we doing to fix it? How am I going to fix it? Because originally he brought it in, he said it started fine. He was saying that it ran fine. And then that, he would start all the time. But that at 2,500, somewhere in the range between 25 and 3,200, then all of a sudden he would lose power. He'd lose all this power. So I immediately thought, well, okay, got out a CD troubleshooting guide. I went through the troubleshooting guide, and essentially for this engine, what they say is there really isn't anything that you can troubleshoot. So you just replace the power pack. So I ordered a power pack. I don't think that's the problem. So we have a new power pack, and I still haven't heard it run on the new power pack. So I thought, maybe we got a bad power pack. I think it's a good power pack. I think the problem is our stator, because after I moved that connector on the end, suddenly, you know, suddenly we had fire. So it wasn't plugging in good. But then looking at the condition of the stator and what he was describing about the stator, and the fact that on these two lines, yeah, so on these two lines, basically one of them's nicked. And most certainly maybe can't get, see, that one, those two are nicked. So I realized that, kind of got it up there. But this is all coming from the stator, which is under here. So that's what we're going to try to do, is just disconnect all of this. And I think I've got the battery connected right now. So I have to disconnect the battery is the first thing to do. And then the second thing is like, see if I can't figure out something to get rid of these mosquitoes. All right, so to do this, there's a whole bunch of bolts we have to take off. To take this cover off, we've got to, you know, essentially disconnect the trigger unit. We get the power disconnected, figure this out, maybe refer to my manual and see what it says about removing this to get to the flywheel, because you got to get to the flywheel to get to the stator that's out of the flywheel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. So here's what I think. I read the manual. The manual's kind of weird. Doesn't make sense. But I think we got to take these two screws out so we can drop this bar. And then I think this bar is the same deal. And then that, I guess, is a part of our whole linkage that moves this thing. Moves their... I think this is made so that you can take it off without really kind of messing with the timing. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So we've got a bunch of these bolts around here. They're probably all 10 mil bolts. I don't know, 3/8, 10 mil. We'll figure it out. First thing, I'm going to disconnect here. I'm going to take these screws out and see where I get. Because I don't know what I'm doing. If you read this thing, it says disconnect the battery cable for safety. Remove the timing wheel sensor cover for access. Tag and disconnect the timing sensor plug from the sensor itself. So, I guess in there is a plug. And then we'll note like the location of our wiring that's in the back. So, you know, we got the battery disconnected, so we're just going to take this plug off. Real simple. I'm not even going to do this one because it's just going to be in the way. This is fine. That goes down for the rectifier. So now I just think we take a bunch of bolts and some screws out. I guess I could start with these screws just to see what it looks like. A couple of squirrels over there is going crazy, man. And then I got a little tub I put everything in. So this had a washer and a screw there on top. So these two screws over here, and when you read down, it's weird. It says remove the two screws from the small sensor support retainer and lift off the retainer. Remove the three screws from the larger sensor support retainer and lift off the retainer. So this must be this one and this must be this one. But it says to just lift it off, I think, right? 2 screws in small retainer and lift off the retainer. So what do we do here? Says to lift off the retainer. How do you lift off the retainer? I get a little bitty thing to pry with, maybe that'll help. Okay, so since I've never done one of these, I'm just doing this gentle like. Seems like that should just come up. Oh, okay, so this comes out, I see. Now I get it. So there's a little, oh, where did that go? Well, crap. I gotta find my little retainer. This has got a little retainer. That's what it is. So it looks like that. Let me find the other one. Of course, I don't know where the retainer clip went flying to. So I may have to try to order another one if I can't find it. I mean, it has to be right here somewhere. I just don't see it. It's just kind of figures. There's that. Yeah, I don't know where it went. So anyway, it says lift the sensor support free of the flywheel cover. Turn the support over and remove the 2 screws securing the sensor port to the support. It's so whacked. These motors really are whacked. I don't understand. Oh, like, I mean, we can get to the 2 screws, I guess. Because that just turns that out. Should this just come up? It says lift the support up. I want to get it. I want to know how it goes back together, you know what I mean? So I'm wondering if we have to just go ahead and disconnect our cables for the shift shaft and the throttle cable, because this is not right. That should not have been that. So what do? Let's I can take this off because it's just our throttle. Man, I tell you what, mosquitoes is just bad. I almost can't take it. So I'm just connecting the shift and the throttle. Sounds crazy, right? But this linkage is giving me a fit. So we're gonna rip and tear. So I got that loose. It's so stupid. And this is what's going in here. Alright, so we need to just disconnect it, or can we come up? Well, there it goes. Alright. So I think that's what they mean. So we're gonna have it like this so that we can kind of remember how this goes, because I'm just gonna set this out of the way, hopefully. I don't like this. I don't like this. So one of the reasons is there's 2, like I could move this, what they call the support bracket. I got these two oil lines in the way. Okay, now you can see I got that out of the way. Now I think it's just taking off a bunch of 3/8 bolts. I don't know if this bolt's got to come out or not. How many bolts you gotta have there, Johnson? Jeez. $2,600 bolts. Or what did I used to say? 4,700 bolts. Get out of there, and then, yeah, I just dropped out of there where I can't reach it. Probably what happened to that retaining clip. So, I think we got to take this off. Oh yeah. I'm gonna crack it first with it. I don't know. I don't know about that. Let's go for it. Yeah, that's the way to do it. So this had a little clip, and that slides down a tooth. That's probably how it aligns with everything. And then there's their little optical coil there on top. We'll have to clean with some alcohol. It said denatured alcohol, something like that. I don't remember. And then this, I think, comes up. It's probably these are in the way. Oh, I got one bolt. Wrong size. Man, you guys should have told me I had one more bolt. Bam, there it is. What did we just drop? Just the mud dauber. So there's our sensor. Take it inside, clean it up pretty good. This is just a flywheel cover. And then, okay, so for these guys, what I want to do, take a bolt out and see what it is. And then see if we can match it up. Make sure we have enough room with our puller to pop this off. And looks like we got some rust. So maybe we can go ahead and spray it out of there. And, or is this a flywheel that just, you got to take all the bolts out first? I would imagine yes. But I'm gonna spray down in here with some WD-40 or something. I wish Croil oil was not so expensive. I would use that.